Please make a video in Hindi.
ठीक है, मैं इस बात को फिर से क्लैरिफाई कर देता हूँ। मैं अपनी सारी वीडियो, हर एक वीडियो दोनों लैंग्वेजेस में बनाता हूँ, इंग्लिश में भी और हिंदी में भी। इसका मतलब क्या है, मेरे दो चैनल्स हैं, दिलनवाज वारसी हिंदी। अगर आप हिंदी में वीडियोस देखना पसंद करते हो तो प्लीज मेरे हिंदी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। जो भी वीडियो आपको इंग्लिश में दिखती है वो वीडियो वहाँ पूरी हिंदी में होती है। मैं हर वीडियो 2 बार रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ इसलिए। तो अगर आपको हिंदी में पसंद है तो हिंदी चैनल को देख लीजिए, आपको इंग्लिश पसंद है तो आप इंग्लिश चैनल पे देख सकते हो। और हर वीडियो ऐसे ही होती है, कोई भी ऐसी वीडियो नहीं है जो एक चैनल पे हो दूसरे पे ना हो। ये आप अगली बार जब भी वीडियो देखो ध्यान रखना, अगर दूसरे चैनल पे चले जाना अगर आपको दूसरे लैंग्वेज में देखनी है तो।
Which platform is used to invest in Nasdaq index?
You can actually use a lot of platforms, to be honest. I mean, my personal favorite is Coin by Zerodha because I invest all my mutual funds through Coin by Zerodha. Grow is another very amazing platform that you can use to invest in mutual funds. When you said Nasdaq 100 index, you can't directly invest in an index. It is an international index. You either have to choose an international ETF or you have to choose a fund of funds. So Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 fund of fund is an example, or ICICI Prudential Nasdaq 100 index fund is an example. You can invest in both of these index fund or fund of funds through Coin by Zerodha or Grow. You can use any platform. Both are amazing.
Are you bringing a series on stock market from basics to advanced?
Yes, this is work in progress right now. If you go to my channel right now, you would see a new playlist of stock market. It has one video right now which explains about NSE, BSE, Nifty, Sensex, SEBI and all these kind of things in a very practical format, in an example like format. So watch that video. I am planning to post at least 10-15 more videos in that stock market series which would cover things from basics to advanced. I think it would help you understand everything about the stock market.
Mostly big fund have good fund managers, that's why they generate good return. And generally, fund houses less than 10k CR don't beat big funds and their expense ratio is also high.
Okay, so I think you misunderstood what I said in the video. When I said 10,000 crores, I didn't mean 10,000 crore for the AMC. I meant for the specific fund. Obviously, the AMC would be managing way more money than this. For example, if I take an example of HDFC mutual fund AMC, it invests thousands of crores across 10, 50, 20 or 100 mutual funds. I am not talking about all of them. When I said 10,000 crores, I talked about a specific mutual fund. If a specific mutual fund has a lot of money, it is difficult for that portfolio manager to reinvest that money somewhere else. So generally I prefer investing in mutual funds which have less than 10,000 crores. It is not a very strict rule. You can definitely invest in something which is more than that. I just want to tell you about how a big fund invests the money and how difficult it is to rotate the money for a big mutual fund. But just understand that you feel free to invest in any mutual fund after that.
आपने बताया था कि 1 करोड़ आपने 27 में बनाया, फिर अगला 1 साल में और अगले और भी जल्दी, पर आप 14% कैगर बोल रहे थे। उस अकॉर्डिंग तो 1 करोड़ को डबल होने में फिर से 5 साल लगने चाहिए, पर अगला 1 करोड़ 27 में कुछ टाइम में ही कैसे बन गया?
आई थिंक ये आपने निकाला है मेरे सतीश के वीडियोस के पॉडकास्ट में से। अब वहाँ पे मैं बात को डिटेल में समझा नहीं पाया था, समझा देता हूँ यहाँ पे मैं आपको। जब मैंने बोला कि मुझे 1 करोड़ बनाने में अराउंड 6-7 साल लगे थे, 27 साल का था जब मेरा फर्स्ट करोड़ बन गया था और सेकंड करोड़ 28 का हो गया था तब हो गया था। इसका मतलब ये नहीं था जो मेरा पहला फर्स्ट करोड़ था उसके इन्वेस्टमेंट से ही सेकंड करोड़ बना मेरा दूसरा। मेरा मतलब ये था कि जब आप पहले करोड़ बनाते हो ना, आपको बहुत सारे सैक्रिफाइसेस करने होते हैं। अब मैंने पहली कार नहीं ली थी, मैं अपने पैसे को इन्वेस्ट कर रहा था, मैं और चीज़ों में डिलेड ग्रेटिफिकेशन को प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था, बहुत सारी चीज़ें नहीं ले रहा था। द पॉइंट वाज कि आप 1 करोड़ जब बना लेते हो ना, अब जब मैं 27 का था मेरी सैलरी ऑलरेडी बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई थी। मैंने उस पॉडकास्ट में बताया था मेरी सैलरी 50 लाख से 1 करोड़ के बीच में है और उस टाइम भी ऑलमोस्ट आई थिंक 30 से 50 के बीच में ही होगी प्रॉब्ली। अब उस रेंज में मैं था ऑलरेडी, तो मेरी सैलरी अच्छी खासी आ रही। प्लस जब मेरे 1 करोड़ रुपए हैं, और अगर आपको थोड़ा सा एनालिसिस और करो, जब 27 का था मैं, जब मेरा 1 करोड़ हुआ था उस टाइम एक्चुअली कोविड चल रहा था, कोविड उस टाइम ही हुआ था। तो कोविड के टाइम पे रिटर्न बहुत ज़्यादा मिले थे। इनफैक्ट मार्केट अराउंड 8000 पे आ गई थी निफ्टी, और उसके 1 साल के अंदर 2021 में 1 साल के अंदर वो ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गई थी, 16000 पे आ चुकी थी। तो मेरे पैसे ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गए। तो बहुत एग्रेसिवली इन्वेस्ट कर रहा था मैं जब मार्केट क्रैश करी थी। तो मेरे 1 करोड़ से 2 करोड़ होने में जल्दी इसलिए हो गया बिकॉज मुझे ऑलमोस्ट 40% का रिटर्न मिल गया मार्केट से। 40 लाख तो वहाँ से कवर हो गया, अब रह गए 60 लाख। तो मेरी सैलरी ऑलरेडी 30-40 लाख थी, वहाँ से कवर हो गया। प्लस मैं थोड़े से और काम भी करता था जिसके थ्रू मेरे पैसे गेन हो गए। फॉर एग्जाम्पल रियल एस्टेट था, गोल्ड था और जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स थे मेरे, उसके थ्रू भी वो क्रिएट हो गया। इसकी वजह से 2 करोड़ और ईजी हो गया। अब देखो, आप जब 2 करोड़ हो जाते हैं, अब इस 2 करोड़ अगर आपको 20% मिलता है तो 40 लाख तो ऑटोमेटिकली होगा। आपको 60 लाख क्रिएट करोगे तो आपके 3 करोड़ हो जाएंगे। अब मेरी सैलरी अगर 60 लाख है तो मेरे 3 करोड़ तो ऐसे ही हो जाएंगे, बहुत आसानी से हो जाएंगे। प्लस मेरे और इन्वेस्टमेंट्स भी हैं इस टाइम पे, तो इस तरीके से ईजी हो जाता है। मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ उस 1 करोड़ से ही दूसरा बनेगा, दूसरे से ही तीसरा बनेगा। आपके और इनकम स्ट्रीम्स भी फैक्टर इन करनी पड़ेंगी आपको, उसके बाद ही आप अगला करोड़ बनाओगे। आई होप दिस क्लैरिफाइज।
Can you please share your opinion for mutual fund capital gain harvesting? Should we do that or not? Which one will have a high returns? Capital gain harvesting or only adding funds for long terms and pay final tax?
Okay, my recommendation, do it every single year. Why? Because in LTCG, 1 lakh, if you have a profit of almost 1 lakh, you have to pay 0 tax. But if you, let's say, redeem your mutual fund after 5 years, 10 years, and you have a profit of 5-10 lakhs, you will have to pay interest, tax on all that money. So it is advisable, it is obviously smart. If you book profit of 1 lakh every single year, on a longer term, you will have to pay 0 tax. Obviously, when you book the profit, please reinvest that money. Do not keep it in your bank account. Otherwise, it's a problem. If you do capital gains harvesting, it basically means you book that profit. Now you have 1 lakh profit, you have to pay 0 tax, and as soon as you are in April, invest that money again in the mutual fund so that you keep that money growing. That is how you should do it, and always practice it every single year to save tax and maximize your wealth building.
What is the difference between a Nasdaq 100 FOF versus Nasdaq 100 index fund? Which is better?
First, you have to understand what is Nasdaq 100. So Nasdaq 100 is an index in US which invests majorly in stock companies. The index comprises of major tech companies. Now, if you build an ETF on top of it, that is Nasdaq 100 fund of fund. Basically, this fund of fund invest in an ETF. That ETF actually comprises of all the Nasdaq 100 companies. This is called fund of fund. And when you say Nasdaq 100 index fund, that basically means all the companies in Nasdaq 100, for example, Google, Nvidia, Facebook. If an index fund copies all that companies in its portfolio, that is called an index fund. Now, if I have to answer you what's better, both are almost the same. What you have to compare is what's the expense ratio of each one of them, what is the exit load of each one of them. For this, watch out my mutual fund series video number 2. In that video, I explained extensively about expense ratio, exit load. You have to compare that to understand which one is better. But in terms of performance, both would remain the same. Commissions might vary because one is investing in an ETF that invests in a fund. The other one is actually investing in the stocks that are basically a part of Nasdaq 100.
मैं कौन स्मॉल कैप फंड में एवरी टाइम 1 लाख इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ और जैसे ही मुझे 7 to 8% प्रॉफिट आता है मेरा सारा अमाउंट निकालता हूँ. क्या ये अच्छी ट्रिक है?
तो ये काफ़ी ख़राब स्ट्रैटेजी है बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट कि अगर आप स्मॉल कैप फंड में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो और 78% के बाद आप प्रॉफिट बुक कर ले रहे हो तो आपको स्मॉल कैप में इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं करना चाहिए. स्मॉल कैप इन्वेस्ट करने का मतलब होता है, पहली बात तो स्मॉल कैप करेक्ट हो सकते हैं कभी भी 10-12% और आपको टेंशन लेनी नहीं चाहिए. स्मॉल कैप लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए इन्वेस्ट करो जो आपको अच्छी खासी मैसिव ग्रोथ दे सकते हैं, 50, 80, 100% भी दे सकते हैं. स्मॉल कैप होता है हाई रिस्क हाई रिवॉर्ड का गेम. आप रिस्क ले रहे हो पर आप हाईएस्ट रिवॉर्ड पे जा रहे हो. 8% का रिवॉर्ड लेके बुक करना तो कोई सेंस नहीं बनता है. आप अब से अगर मेरी रिकमेंडेशन मानो तो 8% पे प्रॉफिट बुक मत करना. इनफैक्ट प्रॉफिट बुक करना ही मत. म्यूचुअल फंड में आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए करते हो, लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए ही करो. स्मॉल कैप तो डेफिनेटली लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए करो. और ऐसा डेफिनेटली हो सकता है कि आप अगले कुछ टाइम में आप देख लो अपने फंड में लॉस -10-20% का, तो वो देख के डर मत जाना. स्मॉल कैप्स में बहुत नॉर्मल है. लॉन्ग टर्म में आपको कैगर मिल जाएगा 15-20% का, पर 8% पे प्रॉफिट बुक करना प्लीज छोड़ दीजिए.
Hey, investments in international funds have been stopped by RBI? Question mark.
An extremely important question to answer. Now there are 2 limits that you need to know for this. It has started in Feb 2022 when RBI introduced a limit of $7 billion across the international mutual funds that invest in international stocks. So that's the first limit, which is they can't breach this $7 billion limit. The second limit that is there now is $1 billion if they want to invest in international ETF. Now the fund I have been promoting a lot, which was Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 fund of fund, which invests in an international ETF. Now that $1 billion limit has reached there, which basically means you might not be able to invest a lot in that fund because that limit has breached. But since a lot of profit booking happened on the other international mutual funds, there is still a scope where you can actually invest in these international mutual funds because investment is around $6 billion. The limit is $7 billion. So there is some scope there, but you would slowly gradually see that it would also stop because of the RBI limit. For this, AMCs have written to SEBI and to RBI to actually increase the limit. The discussion is underway. We're not sure where it will go, but you can keep investing right now. You might not be able to invest more if the RBI does not increase the limit.
There's always a thought that bugs me on how much to invest, how much to put on my emergency funds, and also how much to put on LIC, and also on tax savings and everything. I have gone through multiple formula for the same, but again got confused to which one to follow to have a little less stress about my funds. Also, being from a tech background where layoffs are very frequent, I've got to sort the emergency funds. It would be a great help if you could help with this.
Okay, so I don't think it was one question, it is a group of at least 5-10 questions. I'll try to answer all of them if I can. First thing, tax saving funds. if you have to understand how much you should invest in every fund or how do you manage your money that you get from your salary, first thing, if you invest in tax saving funds, you only get benefit up to 1.5 lakh. Okay, that's extremely important to understand. Now, if your employer is also giving you PF, that also comes under section 80C. An investment in ELSS funds also is under 80C, and this has a limit of 1.5 lakh, which basically means, let's say if your PF is 40,000 a year, then you are left with 1,10,000. Only this amount you should put in tax saving funds. So I think this would clarify if you have to understand how much you should put in tax saving funds. See your PF, check your pay slip, you'll see PF into 12, see the annual PF, 1.5 lakh minus that PF, so you're left with, let's say, some amount, let's say 1 lakh, which basically means you have to invest 1 lakh over a period of 12 months, which basically means approximately 8,000 you would have to invest every single month in tax saving funds. That's the first part. Second part is about LIC. Now, it's a different thing when you invest in LIC. It is not for growth. LIC is majorly for emergencies. If you, unfortunately, something happens to you and your family needs that, that is for that. Now, I don't know if you're married, if you have kids, if you have responsibilities of your parents, how is your family performing in terms of wealth accumulation and stuff like that. So you have to understand your situation. If a lot of people are dependent on you, it is a really good idea to have a term insurance, very important, or LIC, because if something happens to you, your family is covered. So invest some part. I don't have exact number here, but maybe 15,000, maybe maximum 10-15,000 a month could be enough. But you look at the plans of LIC, you would see how much money you can get. Let's say 1 CR is the goal that if you get, it would help your family. Look at that number, check the amount you have to pay for that and invest accordingly. Now, after these two are sorted, third part, how much money you should invest in actually passive mutual funds or where you're investing for growth. Now to this, first of all, watch the entire mutual fund series I have posted on YouTube. It would give you a great idea about how to bifurcate. Second part, if I quickly tell you is, let's say your salary is 1 lakh. Out of 1 lakh, 50,000 is your expenses. We'll take it off. 50,000 is left. Let's say you invest 8,000 in ELSS funds. 40,000 is kind of left. Let's say 5 or 6,000 is LIC. So 35,000 of something is left. Out of this, I would recommend, if you are an aggressive investor, investing for growth, maybe invest 40-50% of this savings in growth assets, which is actually mutual funds. And you can keep the remaining amount for emergency fund or maybe something else. Now, you also talked about emergency fund. Ideally, I am comfortable if I keep, let's say, 5-10 lakhs in an emergency fund. Keep that money locked in an FD so that whenever your family needs something, if you have some medical condition, if there's any problem, that money can be taken out easily and be used for that. Now, the last part you asked was layoffs. I think you should never ever be concerned about layoff if you are skilled. Work on your skills. There are a lot of online platforms like Udemy, Coursera, where you can upskill yourself. If you are skilled, I think you don't ever have to worry about layoffs. If your company lays you off, you already have at least like 5-6 companies that would be happy to give you a job if you're skilled. So keep working on your skills, but at the same time, be ready if there's a situation like layoff, you would be ready to have more organizations willing to take you, network more, have a lot of people, in your network that can help you in a situation like that. Along with that, build that emergency fund so that if you don't receive salary for next 3-6 months, you're covered with that emergency. I hope that answers your question.
मैं HDFC और UTI इंडेक्स फंड्स में लास्ट 6 मंथ से SIP कर रहा हूँ 5,000 की। मुझे अगले 10 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट करना है, लेकिन मैं अभी ऐसे सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं दोनों म्यूचुअल फंड्स को स्मॉल कैप में स्विच करूँ। आप मुझे सजेशंस दीजिए इसके ऊपर।
देखिए, जब आप किसी इंडेक्स फंड में इन्वेस्ट करते हो ना, तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता किस ब्रांड का इंडेक्स फंड है वो, क्योंकि ये सारे ब्रांड इन दी एंड उस इंडेक्स में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, निफ्टी 50 का फंड है, तो परफॉर्मेंस निफ्टी के हिसाब से ही आपका फंड परफॉर्म करेगा, ब्रांड से फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ब्रांड से बस ये फर्क पड़ता है कि उसका एग्जिट लोड कितना है, ये एक्सपेंस रेशियो कितना है, ये सारी चीजें आप देख सकते हो, उससे ये चीजें ड्राइव हो जाएंगी। दूसरी बात, आप मेरी म्यूचुअल फंड की सीरीज प्लीज पूरी देख लेना, जैसे मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया आपको किस तरीके से अपना पोर्टफोलियो बनाना है। अब पूरे पैसे स्विच करना स्मॉल कैप में भी काफी अच्छी समझदारी नहीं है, पूरे पैसे लार्ज कैप में रखना भी समझदारी नहीं है। एक अच्छा पोर्टफोलियो वो होता है जो कि बैलेंस्ड होता है। एक बैलेंस पोर्टफोलियो में लार्ज कैप्स भी होते हैं, मिड कैप्स भी होते हैं, स्मॉल कैप्स भी होते हैं और इंटरनेशनल डाइवर्सिफिकेशन भी होता है। तो आप मेरी म्यूचुअल फंड की सीरीज देख लेना, उसमें मैंने काफी एक्सप्लेन किए हैं सारी चीजें। और आपके सवाल का मुझे जवाब देना हो तो पूरे पैसे स्मॉल कैप में मत डालिए, बिकॉज आपको अपने रिस्क को मिटिगेट करना आना चाहिए, पोर्टफोलियो बैलेंस्ड रखना चाहिए। इंडेक्स में भी इन्वेस्ट करिए, स्मॉल कैप में भी इन्वेस्ट करिए, थोड़ा सा इंटरनेशनल डाइवर्सिफिकेशन भी रखिए और इसको बेसिस में पूरा अच्छे से पोर्टफोलियो बनाइए अपनी ग्रोथ के हिसाब से कि मुझे 10 साल में कहाँ पहुँचना है और मैं कितने इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, कितने % का रिटर्न मैं चाहता हूँ ईयर ऑन ईयर। आई होप दिस हेल्प्स।
How to differentiate or find genuine large cap fund? I have Sundaram large/mid cap fund, which is having almost 48% till date from last 3.5 years. Please guide.
Okay, interesting question to answer. I don't know what you meant by genuine. When you say genuine, I don't exactly understand what you meant because all these AMCs are registered. They have their paperwork done, so almost all of them are genuine. You don't have to worry about if they're genuine or not. Now, if your question is around which mutual fund can give you more returns, which large cap fund is better, how to pick the best large cap fund. See, my perspective is very different here. If you're investing in large cap funds, go for an index fund. Why? Because if you know, the top 50 companies of NSE are called as Nifty and the top 30 companies of BSE are called Sensex. If you are actually interested in investing in large cap companies, go with an index fund. Invest in Nifty 50 index fund or Sensex 30 index fund. The expense ratio is way less than the actively managed fund and the growth is almost similar. If you actually have read this news where majority of the portfolio managers are not even able to beat the index returns, which basically means it is a very smart move if you invest in an index fund because you pay very less expense ratio and your growth is way higher. So go for the index fund rather than going actively chasing these actively managed mutual funds.
हेलो सर, आपका मैंने एक वीडियो देखा था, उसमें आपने अपना न्यू बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने का जिक्र किया था, रेस्टोरेंट ओपन करने का गोवा में। अगर आप ऐसा कोई प्लान कर रहे हो तो प्लीज़ मुझे अपने रेस्टोरेंट में एज अ हेड शेफ़ की तरह रख सकते हो। मुझे होटल इंडस्ट्री का 15 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है। प्लीज़ रिप्लाई ज़रूर देना, थैंक यू।
काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है आपका। तो हाँ, बिल्कुल, मुझे रेस्टोरेंट बिजनेस के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता है। मैं एक्चुअली प्लान कर रहा हूँ इस साल, मैं गोवा काफ़ी ज़्यादा मूव कर रहा हूँ इस साल, बार बार ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ इसी के लिए, अपना एयरबीएनबी स्टार्ट करने के लिए और अपना कैफ़े स्टार्ट करने के लिए। तो हाँ, डेफिनेटली मैं आपसे मिलना ज़रूर चाहूँगा और जब भी मैं अपना कैफ़े खोलूँगा तो मैं डेफिनेटली आपको रख सकता हूँ उसके लिए। अगर आपके गोल से भी वो अलाइन करता है, आप मुझे प्लीज़ एक ईमेल ड्रॉप कर दो support@questiontex.in पे, ताकि मुझे ये बात याद रहे और जब भी वो स्टार्ट होगा मैं आपको डेफिनेटली एक ईमेल शूट कर दूंगा या फिर आपको मैसेज कर दूंगा, तो और हम कॉन्वर्सेशन कर सकते हैं उस बारे में। पर आई थिंक इसमें भी टाइम लगेगा। अभी आप अपनी जॉब पे फोकस करिए, अलॉन्ग विद दैट इन्वेस्टिंग पे फोकस करिए। इसके अराउंड कुछ क्वेश्चन हो ज़रूर मुझसे पूछ लीजिएगा।
कैन यू रिव्यू माई म्यूचुअल फंड पोर्टफोलियो प्लीज एंड गाइड मी?
Okay, an extremely important question to answer. I have got so many comments related to reviewing people's portfolio. See, I can't review portfolio like this. If you just give me 5 funds that are in your portfolio and you ask me to review it, it is extremely difficult for me to review it. Because as I mentioned in my videos as well, you have to answer a few questions for me. First question, what is your goal? Are you a risky investor? Are you looking for more risk? Are you okay with high risk, high reward, or you're kind of investor who would go for low risk, low reward? I don't know that. What is the time frame you're investing at? Are you looking for 5+ years, 10+ years, 15+ years? I don't know that. What is your age? I don't know that. What is your monthly salary? I don't know that. What exactly is your, let's say, 10 years after you redeem this amount, what do you want to do? I don't know that. What are your family responsibilities? I don't know that. There are a lot of questions that you have to answer. So if you really want to get your portfolio reviewed, maybe wait a bit. I am trying to schedule as many one-on-one calls as I can where I ask all these questions. Only then I'll be able to better review your portfolio because I would know how much money you're earning, how much is your expense, how much money you're saving. Out of those savings, how much money you're investing. Out of that investment, what is your goal? What are you looking at? Are you looking for long-term horizon, extra long-term horizon? Are you looking for tax savings? Are you looking for just growth? Are you looking at dividends? Only based on that, I'll be able to, define a great portfolio for you. Or if you do want to do it yourself, watch my entire series. You would know the questions you would have to answer, and based on that, create a portfolio for yourself. And if you still feel you want my review, drop me an email on QuestionText or just keep commenting on the videos. Probably I'll schedule a session with you where you can ask me all those questions. So I tried to answer as many questions as I could in this video. This video might get a bit too long if I keep answering more questions. See, I try to respond to every single comment that is in my video. So please keep commenting on my videos. Ask as many questions as you want. I'll try to answer in the comment section as well. And if I feel the comment can help the general public more, I will definitely keep making these Q&A videos every single month. Keep asking more questions and I would definitely either respond to you there or make a video of all those questions. I hope this helped. Even after this, if you have any other question, feel free to put it in the comment box. I would love to make a video on it or just reply you right there. Thank you.